Hi, welcome back to the next video snippet from Z-fari, the zombie novel. We're going to read the first part of chapter 19 today. And as I have been doing to make your life easier, and mine, I'll put a link to the Amazon.com page for Z-fari so that if you care to, you can purchase a copy of this novel in Kindle format or paperback, whichever you prefer, so that you can read it whenever you want to. That makes it better. Not waiting for me to put up these videos, I'm not going to be here forever. Anyway, if you're ready, we'll begin. Chapter 19. Day 2. The search and rescue team rose at dawn. 8 MREs readied their weapons and were assigned duties by Riddick. Ike, as the zombie expert, went out with the morning team, Tree, Pedwar, Pump, and Schweck. Beebe stayed behind as his sweep was scheduled for the afternoon. 2 of the morning sweepers would go out in the afternoon along with Undao and Beebe. That would keep everyone relatively fresh and rested. This morning sweep was North D Road, south from the post office for about 200 yards until it ended in a curved driveway of a modest ranch-style house, west to the tracks and then back home. In Peck, avenues generally were demarcated as the north-south roadways on the north side of 119th Street, while roads were the north-south roadways that lay to the south of 119th Street, all named with letters of the alphabet, A through E. The only other east-west street, if you could call it that, was the mysteriously monikered East 148th Avenue North, which began at an alley about 100 feet east of North D Road and traveled straight as an arrow for 2.5 overlong blocks until it butted up against North B Road, where it ended. The only other east-west road that could have qualified as an avenue was an unnamed paved car path about 750 feet north of the 119th Street intersection with Meridian Road. Meridian Road was named North Meridian Road when it was south of the intersection, and South Meridian Road when it traveled north of the intersection. Well, only until South Meridian Road got about 500 feet from the intersection when it mysteriously adopted an alias, South 24th Street, before resuming its true identity, South Meridian Road 200 feet further north. As far as geographers and cartographers could determine, there was no history of mass psychosis or ergot poisoning among Peck, Kansas founding mothers and fathers. But some conspiracy theorists suspected a cover-up. The first building the morning sweepers came to was a large single-story office building, kitty corner across the intersection from the post office. The double-glass doors were not locked, and when the 5 men went in, Tree and Pump each plugged an undie within seconds, single shots to the head with their M4s. Ike wasn't sure if the undead slept, but it seemed that these two hadn't had their morning coffee and were a little slower than he had expected. The team swept the rest of the building and found nothing other than a nest of feral cats, whose occupants scattered in an explosion of hisses and yowls when they came near. Between the office building and East 148th Avenue North were 3 little homes. Each one had a zombie or two. In the first one, a fat balding undie wearing a dirty Kansas City Chiefs Fred Arbanaz jersey and a pair of rotted to ribbons black faux silk boxers was shot in the mouth by Pedwar. In the next house, a tall, skinny, once female zombie, Zombette, Ike wondered, wearing a ragged green capri pants, a navy blue and white striped French sailor shirt, and a poofy print apron, got one in the forehead from Tree. And crawling on the floor, a baby zombie, its pamper having rotted off years ago. Pump put his cig on top of the little undie's head, right about the mastoid fontanelle, and put a round into his little brain. In the last, 2 apparently adolescent undead, a former boy and a former girl, both dressed in their best goth. The former girl still wore stretch black net gloves with ruffles where they ended past its wrists, black vinyl leggings, elaborate black leather and chrome steel spiked platform heels, and a black leather corset that had been unlaced, her still pert breasts exposed. There had been, it would seem, some heavy petting going on just prior to their becoming undead. The former boy wore black leather harness boots, black denim pants with straps and metal buckles up the legs, and a black Fields of the Nephilim t-shirt. Both the former boy and the former girl still wore, respectively, the remnants of black and purple mascara, eyeliner, and lipstick. Pedwar put a round at each of their left eyes. Ike was almost certain that he heard Pedwar softly singing, "Don't run away, it's only me." The team left the last house on the block and crossed East 148th Avenue North. Two more little houses, a mobile home, and a third house all yielded nothing but sad collections of the things some people once cared about and surrounded themselves with. North D Road ended in a curving driveway leading up to a ranch-style house with a two-car attached garage. The men tried the front door and found it open. Tree motioned to Pedwar and Pump to cover him and come in right after Tree entered the house. The Tree burst in. Nothing. A little kitchen with a frying pan on a stove that had once been about to cook eggs, the carton still full of once rotted hen fruit. The living room boasted a huge television on one wall and a bumper pool table in a space toward the back of the room, a bedroom and a bathroom, and that was all. The men left by the back sliding glass door. Behind the little house, a sprinkling of young trees extended about 60 yards to the railroad tracks. The five men walked in a line, slowly walking north, scanning left and right. After 100 feet, they came to a small shed with an old Chevy up on blocks next to it. Nothing in the shed. A football field further, a falling down trailer, and 50 feet further, a four-room cottage. Nothing. 50 feet further, half a dozen rusting cars parked behind what turned out to be a mechanic's shop, filled with motorcycles. Schweck paused in the doorway when he realized what the building held. Luckily for him, Pump was not so easily mesmerized by chrome. Pump plugged the two zombies that shambled toward them wearing overalls and orange HD shirts. When it was clear, Pump said, laughing softly, "Okay, Schweck, now you can fondle them." And Schweck did, moving from one iron horse to another, touching each one with the gentle reverence of a lover. A screaming yellow Eric Buell Racing 1190 RX, a classic blue and white Yamaha YZ400F, a Ducati red M900 Monster, a Zook 750 Gixxer, a double overhead cam 16-valve liquid-cooled 113 horsepower Ninja, a Harley Lowrider, a Goldwing, a Honda CB750, a late 50s Triumph Bonneville, and over in the corner, hidden under a cover, a 1955 Vincent Black Shadow Series C. Schweck's knees buckled as he took off the cover and saw what it was. The other men let him stand there for a few minutes in silent adoration before they told him to move out. Schweck was the last one out of the building, and as he walked behind the rest back to the post office, he turned back for one last look at least 4 times in the 300 feet he walked. When everyone was back up on the roof of the post office, Ritter called the morning team together for a quick debrief. Then he handed out the lunch MREs, and everyone except the sentries got an hour to kick back.